Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 has been a whirlwind from start to finish, and the finale truly delivered on that sense of intensity, even if it didn't give us absolutely everything we were hoping for. Episode 11, At Last, centered on Conrad's impulsive trip to Paris, and more importantly, the long-awaited reunion with Belly. After all the heartbreak, missteps, and tension that's carried through these 3 seasons, this was the moment fans had been waiting for. The declaration of love that finally felt raw, real, and unfiltered. But what stood out, maybe more than anything, was how the pacing of this reunion felt. The episode was about 20 minutes longer than usual, yet somehow Conrad and Belly's story still came across as rushed. Yes, we got Paris, we got Versailles, and we got the kind of sweeping romantic moments that scream endgame. But you can't help but wish the writers had carved out even more space for them. Too much of the finale leaned on Jeremiah's career choices, his new romance with Denise, and even Stephen and Taylor's unnecessary fight about moving to San Francisco. Did anyone really think Stephen and Taylor wouldn't end up together? And Jeremiah moving on with Denise, while refreshing and healthy for his character, still ate up precious time that could have been devoted to the couple fans were truly waiting for. Because let's be honest, anytime the narrative shifted back to cousins, the only thing on our minds was getting back to Paris. Nobody yearns like Conrad Fisher, and nobody matches that yearning quite like Isabelle Conklin. Their reunion in Paris wasn't just romantic. It was layered, intimate, and vulnerable in a way the show has been teasing since season 1. From their awkward but tender reconnect Ion to their steamy night together that moved from the Seine to a cab ride, to Belly's apartment, it was everything the fandom has been craving. And yes, it far surpassed anything Belly ever shared with Jeremiah. This wasn't just surface-level attraction. It was about rediscovering each other after years of heartbreak. What made this so powerful was how much honesty was woven into it. Belly and Conrad weren't pretending the past didn't exist. They acknowledged their mistakes, their fears, and especially the shadow Susanna's memory still cast over their relationship. Lola Tung and Christopher Briney gave performances that felt deeply lived in. Briney, especially, conveyed Conrad's growth through his body language. The anxiety that had always haunted him gave way to something freer, more certain. And Tung's delivery of Belly's lingering fears grounded the whole thing in reality. It wasn't just a fantasy. It was a second chance built on truth. And who doesn't swoon at a last-minute train station confession of love? That's the kind of romance TV is made for. Still, as breathtaking as Paris was, the aftermath felt thin. A quick time skip, a car ride into cousins, and suddenly we're at that final drone shot of the beach house. Yes, it's symbolic, and yes, it tells us they're together and happy, but for a finale, it left something unfinished. Readers of the book know that the epilogue reveals Belly and Conrad eventually marry, but the show didn't lean into that closure. Belly's final narration felt oddly generic for a series finale, platitudes about summer and home, but not much about the relationship that's been the beating heart of the show. Those Christmas photos were cute, sure, but not nearly enough to fully capture the weight of this love story. And that's where the bittersweetness comes in. So much of this season focused on Belly and Jeremiah, almost to the point where Conrad's story felt like it was playing catch-up. By the time we got to Paris, the payoff was worth it, but it also felt like we'd been cheated out of more time with them as a couple. Even still, Jenny Han and co-writer Sarah Kuksurska crafted a finale that captured the essence of what makes this romance so compelling. The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, episode the 11th of May not have been perfect, but it gave us the ending we needed. Belly and Conrad, side by side, in love, and finally free of all the baggage that's kept them apart. Now, I really want to know what you think. Did the finale give you enough Belly and Conrad content? Or were you also wishing for more after Paris? And how did you feel about the balance of the finale? Were Jeremiah, Stephen, and Taylor's storylines a distraction? Or did you like how the show wrapped up everyone's arcs? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is one of those episodes that's going to spark debate in the fandom.